Caddis, Maximus here, this time with the Quantum Lithium Ion Rechargeable Pen Light. This is Harbor Freight's latest addition to the Quantum lineup, and they're charging quite a bit of money. Retail price on the shelf is 15 bucks. Can find coupons for the Quantums, but still, compared to their little 2 AAA battery Quantum flashlight, supposedly this one's only rated at 65 lumens. This thing is supposed to be rated at a whopping 140 lumens. It is brighter, but because of the long lithium ion battery that's in it, it leaves them less space for to have a proper lens on the LED. Plus, they're trying to make it real narrow for a pen light, so it does use a plastic lens, which I do appreciate, but it does still make the light fan out quite a bit more than the deep lens on this, which is a more focused beam. Probably for a pen light, this is pretty good. I don't know if it's really, it doesn't seem like it's more than twice the brightness of this. But they do advertise 3 hours of runtime on this little guy, and only 2 hours on high and 5 hours on low on this little guy. Just to do a quick showing here. Here's this unit, and it does have a pretty stiff switch, so it won't accidentally turn on, but since it cycles from high to low, and it's just the switch turning it on and off, whether you partially press it or fully press it, half the time it's on low and half the time it's on high. So we have low, high, and then here's a little 65 lumen. And this is what I mean, you know, if this is 140 lumen, how is this only 65? Is it really that much of a difference in lensing? We'll take another look at that in a second. There you go. If I get some weird stuff that makes a can noise, I can get the cat in here. Harbor Freight, interestingly enough, had to go feed the cat, some instructions. I had taken apart, I actually bought their previous lithium-ion flashlight and took it apart, and it had a wired battery. They do have some instructions here on battery removal. It's not replaceable because it says right here, cut the wires from the battery, but it's for recycling purposes. But cut the wires from the battery means it's definitely not replaceable. But being a small flashlight, it should last, or excuse me, it should at least recharge pretty quickly. It does actually have both red and green. This is a little plastic, or excuse me, a little, come on camera, a little clear plastic transparent housing around the micro USB, and then they have a little slide cover. And I kind of like that feature just because it, at least until the O-ring wears out. But you can unscrew the back cap, so you will be able to replace that O-ring. This helps keep particles out of there. It does have a pocket clip, and I would say it's a little bit flimsy, but it's probably just right to make it easy enough to get on and off your pocket. But you just want to be careful. If you have it hanging on the outside edge, this thing will get bent pretty easily. Speaking of this little charger, let me show you what it looks like with the 2 different lights. I'll just put a couple images here and here about that. As we can see, the red light up here isn't quite as bright as the green charge light, but it's the green one's still pretty decent. You'll be able to see it, you know, when you walk up to it, or in a darkly lit room, you'd be able to see it across the room. And so being able to take out the battery, it does have a rear cap. The threads are a little crunchy. If you put a little oil on any kind of aluminum threads will be a little bit better. But they have this, you know, some type of isolator here. And this is, you know, you pry that out and then you yank the battery out and then you cut the wires. I think that's, you know, it's good. But if you're going to make it replaceable, at least, you know, maybe offer a spare part. I should also mention this flashlight advertises no form of water resistance whatsoever, but the little O-rings around this cap, the little pressed in thing there, although there isn't an O-ring inside here or a second one on the top, it's going to have a minor amount of water resistance, but nothing that I really count on. You can take off the pocket clip, and I do kind of appreciate that. Sometimes even the pocket clips annoy me. And it's always nice to be able to pop them off. Let's take another look outside at these flashlights. Here we are with the new lithium ion, and that is indeed bright. Here's low, high, and now we'll turn on the 65 lumen just to compare. And look at that, you can see the blue dot. So it's more concentrated, but it's really close in light output. I suppose there's just a lot more flood out of the pen light. So as you can see, I would just expect a little more for a flashlight that costs double what their little one does. I also think it's hilarious that for some reason these little quantums have been showing up on Amazon for $14, the little 2 AA battery ones. I've seen that on eBay too, Harbor Freight tools showing up on eBay for more money than Harbor Freight sells them for. Scammers. Anyway, if you like to collect flashlights, this is kind of a neat little flashlight to collect. Otherwise, there's actually a variety of these little lithium-ion rechargeable flashlights. I'm surprised they didn't slather the packaging with lithium-ion. And I was wrong. They do advertise weather-resistant. Anyway, it's, I don't have the appropriate hardware, but I would really like to do like the absolute light output test of this versus the little 65 lumen. Because even the flood and the splashing, or the extra light that is cast outside the center area, still seems pretty good on this unit. Just hard to believe that this is twice the light. Also hard to believe that the battery and the little USB charger costs twice as much. Although supposedly they have a better LED element in there. I just don't think it's worth $12 and really don't think it's worth $15. Especially when you can have something like this, get a couple rechargeable batteries that can be used in other devices. And what I also find odd is that the 2 AA battery one is almost an inch shorter. Anyway, I probably won't be getting these as stocking stuffers, but it is cool that there are little lithium-ion rechargeable pen lights like this. If only that rear switch was just maybe not quite so stiff. You certainly won't be accidentally pressing it. It might be a little annoying in certain awkward situations. Anyway, I really appreciate everybody watching and who has subscribed. And if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe and support the Catus Maximus channel. Until next time, Catus Maximus out.